Everyone, so in this video we have Tetengu, the brand new race monster. So this guy was shown off as an attacker, so let's go ahead, feed him up and review him, see how good he is. So first off, let's look at its trait. So at rank 0 it has immunity to curse. Now curse is the best torture, arguably one of the best tortures in the entire game. Immunity to curse, I guess, is quite decent, but it's only one torture immunity, so not that great, but not that bad. At rank 1, it has immunity to blind. This is a bit better. I mean, immunity to total blind, minor blind, and blind I'd say is not bad. But at rank 3, status caster, immunity to control. This one is the best trait, obviously, but it's only gonna be there for 3 turns, but it can be reapplied, as I saw in the leaked move set. But now let's go ahead and look at its recommended skills. So it's got an area, fire damage, and ignite with a 3-turn cooldown. Let's add that on. And then it's got an extra turn skill with just 1-turn cooldown and bleeding as well. I guess that's kind of anticipation bait, but 1-turn cooldown for an extra turn skill is really good. And then it's got a self-support, double damage, and immunity to control. But the immunity to control is only for 2 turns instead of 3. And then now we have possibly the best move of this monster: massive fire damage, 1-turn cooldown, ignition, and burning. So this is obviously the best move. It's a 1-turn cooldown for massive damage plus 2 tortures. So that's also, I think that's obviously the best move, along with the repent the past, the extra turn move. Now for runes, guys, I'm gonna go 2 strength because I only have 2 runes locks unlocked. If I had 3 unlocked, I would go 2 strength and 1 team speed, or 3 strength. Obviously this is meant to be used as an attacker. And anyways, guys, now let's talk about its pros and cons. The pros and cons of this monster. So first off, let's start off with the pros. What makes this monster a pretty decent attacker to use? First off, it's got the highest power stat of all multiverse monsters. The highest power stat, excluding the ancestrals, obviously, but other than that, the highest power stat of all multiverse monsters. And now when we talk about its trait, I'd say is barely a pro. The only thing I'd say the trait is good is because the status caster is an excellent status caster, obviously immunity to control, and immunity to curse is kind of situational, but curse is one of the most dangerous tortures, so having an immunity is quite decent. And its move pool, I'd also say, is a great pro for it. Obviously it has the massive fire damage plus burn and ignite. Now here's the thing, burn and ignite do extra damage against nature monsters, because fire is super effective and all that. So if you do a skill with 70 damage plus burn and ignite, they're most probably a guaranteed death over there. And it's also got a heavy fire damage skill, and with ignite, which does area 45 damage, which is a good damage output as well. And also, if I already haven't mentioned, the cooldown costs are really good. Obviously the extra turn skill with 1-turn cooldown, and the massive fire damage skill with only a 1-turn cooldown. Its area skill does have a 3-turn cooldown, and his decent self-support skill, which gives double damage and immunity to control, also has a 3-turn cooldown. But other than that, he's good for most of the part. And his relics are also really great for an attacker. He has a sword to do extra damage, to boost his damage output and all that. But he also has a mask, which can be used to remove stamina and all that. So really good on its part as well. Great relic slots. And that's all the pros of this monster. Now for this cons, I don't see a lot of cons. Other than the first thing is that 2 of his best skills have a 3-turn cooldown. And another con which he has is, despite being like a fire and metal type, his metal skills, he doesn't have any good metal skills. Obviously there's his extra turn skill, but he doesn't have any high damaging output metal skill. And I would really expect some high damaging metal skills from this guy, because he has the highest power stat. He could be the next Justin counter, but now he can't because he doesn't have a high metal damaging skill, which basically makes his metal typing useless. In fact, it only makes it worse. Now it's weak to magic type because of that unnecessary metal typing. So now it's gonna get destroyed by Mater Geneza in the higher leagues, obviously, because everyone puts Mater Geneza in their defense teams in order to counter Justin. But this Mater Geneza is gonna counter Tetengu, because if you put him on the team, obviously his metal type is weak to magic. So he's also gonna get countered and destroyed over there as well. So for PvP, I guess he's not the best monster, but if you don't have a multiverse attacker, I'd say he's better. He's above average than the bunch of bad multiverse attackers we've had, considering how many bad free-to-play multiverse attackers we've had. Like this guy, and this guy, and this attacker who I thought initially was a tank. So he's better than all of them as well. So if you have any of these guys, just replace them with this guy. And that's all for today's video. Thank you for watching and subscribe.